distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, it's a very uh, important topic to understand what the government of India, especially in the field of infrastructure, is presently attempting, and what is the vision of the government of India for the next 20, 30 years as far as the infrastructure growth is concerned. PM GatiShakti, as you are all aware, is an overarching national master plan which is encompassing all the infrastructure ministries as well as the ministries who are involved in the development of the economic zones. I'll just request someone to kindly change the slides. Next slide, please. Just to give you an overall overview about where India is standing as of now. We are the fastest growing G20 economy. We are the largest consumers of smartphone data. We are one of the biggest global fintech adopter. We are second in the global retail index. We are the second largest. Can you please go back? We are the second largest internet subscriber base. We are the third largest startup ecosystem with more than 100 unicorns already in place. We are the third largest consumer market, and we are the third largest economy on the basis of purchasing power parity. So this is what we have already attained till now, and these numbers are increasing on a daily basis. Next, please. In terms of the infrastructure landscaping, when we started preparing the PM GatiShakti National Master Plan, we have mapped the infrastructure which is at existence in 2014, what infrastructure has been created till 2020, 2021, and what infrastructure is going to be by 24-25. So this is not only the targets, this is the actual data which has been provided by the concerned line ministries, and accordingly it is included as part of their development plans in every single project, in every single DPR, in every single execution program. So if I talk about Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, the length of the national highway in 2015 was close to around 91,000 kilometers, which rose to around 1,33,000 kilometers, and which is going to be 2,10,000 kilometers by 24-25. So we will be creating around 1.2x of additional road network in the country, and which is more relevant from the perspective of the discussions which we are having today. In terms of railways, if I talk about, we were handling close to 1,000 metric tons of cargo. With increase of around 60% in the capacity, it will be 1,600 metric tons by 24-25. Power transmission network, 3 lakh circuit kilometers was our capacity. We have just increased it by another 1.5 times. It is going to be 4,54,000 circuit kilometer. Renewable energy capacity, we were on 35 gigawatt, and the target is to achieve 225 gigawatt. 87 is already achieved. Next, please. Similarly, for civil aviation, we have Joint Secretary Civil Aviation. He will speak about in detail, but just to give you a synopsis, 2014-15, 74 airports, including water aerodromes, heliports, etc. The target is 220 by 24-25. Shipping, in terms of number of ports, 14-15, including major and minor, which has gone up to 75. Petroleum, natural gas pipeline, 15,000 kilometers, more than double, 34,500 kilometers. So this is how India is going to transform. And if India is transforming, then technology has to be used in the real sense for leapfrogging and for the purpose of monitoring and for the purpose of developing this quality and this level of infrastructure. And that is the reason why the concept of PM GatiShakti was rolled out to encompass the infrastructure sector, cut across the utilities, cut across the sectors, and rather than working in the approach of silos of individual ministries and the departments, to work in an integrated fashion. So that is the whole mantra of PM GatiShakti. We can skip this and move on faster. Next slide, please. So in terms of PM GatiShakti, the broad visioning, next please. We all know that majorly the challenges which we face in any infrastructure sector project are either related to the land acquisition related problems, issues relating to environment clearances or other statutory permissions, issues relating to grant of right of way or right of use, because we are heavily dependent on the seeking permissions from different departments, whether at the central level or at the state level or at the district or the local level. If I talk about the projects which we are right now developing, and this is as per the data given by MOSPI, that there are close to 647 projects where there is a time overrun. There are close to 315 projects where there is a cost overrun. And this is because different departments have started planning different projects, making their DPRs, started executions at different point in times. The classic example for that is that we keep on constructing a road all the time. The road is constructed by either NHEI, by either state PWD, or by border road organization. The other department comes in either for laying the water pipeline, for laying the optic fiber network, and it just digs it up. So that road project never ends up. It keeps on just digging up, filling it up, and just doing it. That's the easiest example to correlate with. So PM GatiShakti is primarily a transformative approach to encompass all infrastructure sectors, rather than to work in silos, but to develop or plan right from beginning in an integrated fashion. All departments, all ministries to sit together and then start the planning for any new project. Similarly, it's a GIS-based platform with close to 900 layers already mapped, GIS layers already mapped onto the platform. And this is, I'll just show you in the future slides, it includes the infrastructure layers, it superimposes the economic zones on the top of it, and this is the tools which has been developed by Bhaskacharya Institute of Space, Ahmedabad, and these tools are available for the purpose of planning. At present, these tools are available for the government departments for the purpose of planning, and probably in the next month, we will be opening up close to 250 odd layers out of 900 layers for the public use. And this is the structure which has been approved by the Union Cabinet, whereby there is an empowered group of secretaries chaired by the Cabinet Secretary Sir himself, and having the secretary's participation of all the infrastructure and the economic zones ministry. We have a network planning group, go back please. We have a network planning group, and which comprises the planning heads of every ministry, every department, who can plan together, who can sit together before a project is ideated and taken forward for the implementation. And below that, we have a technical support unit. So this is the structure which is followed at the central level, and a similar structure is getting adopted at the state level also, because the action lies in the states. Next, please. Honorable PM has launched PM GatiShakti National Master Plan on 13th October 2021, and probably next month we are targeting that next round of GatiShakti rollout, which is opening up of the layers for the public at large, for the planners, for the academia, for the institutions. That will happen as part of the National Logistic Policy launch, which is again under the umbrella of PM GatiShakti only. Next, please. So we will just navigate you in next few slides about how the PM GatiShakti portal look like. It will be open for the public very soon. So what we have done is we have divided, for example, the entire road network into 3 time zones. What was the road network in 2014-15, what it was in 2021, and what it will be in 24-25. And that has been color-coded in 3 different patterns. So you have to just click one button in 2014-15, you will get the entire road network, which means the entire national highway, expressways, border roads, village roads, roads which are being built up by state PWDs, and irrespective of the agency who has executed the job, you will get the entire network. Similarly, if you click on the layer of 2021, it will get superimposed on 2014 and 15, and it's easy for a planning authority like NHEI to identify where the gaps are. And not only the roads, but also the characteristics of the road and the features of the road, whether it is a 4-lane or a 2-lane road, where the strengthening is required, where the gap is, where the traffic is getting accumulated. All that can be now visualized by sitting on a laptop and doing the planning. Next, please. So this is how the national highway, state highway, industrial corridors, national corridors, economic corridors structure look like. In the interest of time, we have opened up all the layers of 14, 20, 24, and the projects which has been included as part of the Bharatmala Pariyojana. Next, please. Similarly, you have the rail network of the entire country. Next, please. You have the major ports, the minor ports. Next, please. The ports, airports, heliports, water aerodromes, whatever it is. Next, please. Similarly, you have transmission line network, the renewable energy network of the country. Next, please. This is the optical fiber network. Next. Forest layers. Next. So I'll just give you, by way of some examples, how the PM GatiShakti, this whole national master plan, is being used at present by the relevant planning agencies, by different departments and the ministries of the Government of India and the states concerned. And there are certain case studies which I have included as part of my presentation, where the PM GatiShakti has already been put in use for the purpose of preparations of DPRs, for the purpose of seeking clearances, for the purpose of identifying the gaps, and for the purpose of knowing where exactly the problem area is and which authority needs to be approached. And if there is a requirement of changing the contours, if there is a requirement of changing the alignment, that all can be done, and the identification of the problem statement can be done well in advance. So this is an illustration of deciding the alignment of a project, a new railway line, which uses the National Master Plan, Taranga Hill, Ambaji and Ambu Road project. The major issues which we're facing, the planning agency was facing, is about the fixing of the alignment, and the railway line was stalled because for 6 months due to the lack of khasra-wise data, which was not available for the government and the private land, need for the field survey, appointment of a field survey agency, then they will mobilize, then they will conduct the field survey, then they will submit the report. All that process will take 1 year or so. No visibility of intersections with the mining areas, because this alignment was passing through the mining areas. So all this exercise was installed and they were not making any headway. All this exercise was completed using the PM GatiShakti National Master Plan in flat 7 days. So this is how the consultants, the community which is involved in the infrastructure planning as well as execution, all that hindrances, all that challenges can be addressed using this portal, using this integrated approach where you have the clear visibility of data at one place. Next, please. So this is how, I'll not get into the details. So the total land acquisition involved, how much is the private land, how much is the government land, whether the alignment is passing through the forest area, how much is the mining area falling in, is there a requirement of shifting the alignment, if we change the contour, whether it will fall into the reserve forest area or not. All that can be taken care of using this National Master Plan. Next, please. Move on. Next, please. So the second example, very relevant example, and it has led a lot of value, especially for the Department of Telecom, whereby they are thinking of converting the non-fiberized towers into the fiberized towers. So where exactly there is a requirement of converting into a fiberized towers, that also, and where is the presence of optic fiber network, where there is no optic fiber network, where there is a requirement, whether it will be laid by 24-25, all that decisions can be taken using this plan. Next, please. So, next. So this is how this, when we had to put up, for example, converting the non-fiberized towers into the fiberized towers, we just map the optic fiber network of that particular region into PM GatiShakti plan. Next, please. Open up the layers where exactly the towers are located, which ones are fiberized, which are non-fiberized. Next. On the basis of that, we keep on adding up the layers, and what is the length of the optic fiber network which will be required for the purpose of providing the fiberized towers, all that, the cost estimations, the length of the OFC network which has to be laid down, what is the nearest tapping point for laying down an optic fiber network, all that can be known by using this National Master Plan under PM GatiShakti. This is how it got split up the results. That required OFC laning will be around 2,314 kilometers, and this is the right-of-way. And for the purpose of laying the OFC network, what will be the available and potential right-of-way also can be known from there. So it's not the route length of the OFC cable which is to be laid down, but also the possible right-of-way where this OFC cable can be laid down, that also can be known by using this. Next, please. The third example I'll want to quote is about gap identification. Next, please. So this is basically location of Anganwadis, where exactly the Anganwadis needs to be located. So all Anganwadis, etc., and where the land is available for construction for an Anganwadi. So because all the revenue maps of the states has been loaded onto the portal, so it's very easy to identify where there is an encroachment, where the land is available, whether it is a government land or a private land, what is the location of a present Anganwadis and what is the vicinity of present Anganwadis in the nearby locations. So this has helped us in knowing, and as you see in the table, that the criteria like population, land area, ownership, availability of power, availability of water, road network, rail network, rivers, crematoriums, all that can be used as the basis or can be used for the purpose of taking an informed decision for deciding onto the location of a particular Anganwadi or for that matter, particular location of any project. Next, please. So this is how the detailing is being done at district level, at taluka level, at village level, at khasra level, and the ownership of the land, whether it is government or the private land, so which will take for a decision-making authority whether the land acquisition is involved or it's only a transfer of land from one department to another. And what will be the total area which will be required for the purpose? Is it falling in any floodplain? Is it falling in any river influencing area? It is a wetland. What is the historical 100-year flood data for that region? All that is available out there. Next, please. Thank you so much.